Once more, and it was unpleasant, you realize. It was exceptionally open. It resembled some other separation. You realize sans Kevin Tracker figured. He could get the advantage on Wendy Williams' kid. Was he off base? Wendy triumphed, ultimately pulling off a victory that tricked Kevin's escort into leaving him stranded. Discuss a circle back. Hello everybody. And welcome back to Secret Life Channel. So Kevin Tracker was left with only tears after Wendy played him like a fiddle and got his supposed side piece to ditch him. Are we presently seeing Kevin kneeling down, asking Wendy to take him back? And the central issue is, will Wendy even think about him? I mean, I take responsibility for my activities, for what's undeniable out there, clearly something else. Yet we should not lose sight of what's most important, since Kevin figured he could defeat Wendy. He's been on a terrible streak. Previously came the employment cutback then. At that point, with the cash from Wendy now, his once faithful paramour Sharina Hudson, who partied hard on Wendy's dime, has concluded she's had enough and left. I'm paying provision, no mystery. Wendy's dollars aren't streaming any longer, and our kid, Kevin, is destitute. We should not actually discuss karma, since this opportunity it came for Kevin Tracker, furiously destitute and suffocating, and dead. Kevin has purportedly lost everything, much to his dismay. Wendy was the mannequin ace from the beginning, working in the background to ensure his special lady kicked him to the check, adapt to the situation of full energy. However, Sunday night, gracious, you imagine, that is delicious. Simply stand by listening to this. Wendy's not timid about conceding that she's been remembering the big picture and splendidly fooled her ex's escort into raising a ruckus around town. Might you at any point accept what she's uncovered? Wendy generally thought that Kevin's courtesan was about the money, so she played it savvy, like very shrewd. She made her legal counselor slide an unexpected surprise into the separation, understanding a condition, saying she didn't need to keep the money coming on the off chance that the Wendy Williams show got chopped out. Or on the other hand, assuming she accepted a decrease in salary on any new gig, that is some powerful arranging goodness. A poor Kevin had no clue about the thing was coming soon. After the separation was settled, Wendy confronted serious medical problems that took her behind closed doors for such a long time that her show got canned. Bam! That is the point at which her end-all strategy started to surround Kevin and Sharina, residing huge on Wendy's provision, made them feel rich, yet the cash evaporated, and they went belly up. Kevin was smoldering. I was terminated on the grounds that I got a separation. Here needed to say, as of now, live in a requires installment. And I'm behind on that bill on the off chance that the property holder's affiliation charges are not paid. Dispossession will before long follow. And he included, I'm behind visa installments. Since I have no cash since the severance installments were suspended, my life has been enormously impacted. I can't cover my bills and support my everyday residing. Could you at any point even envision the distress, the breakdown of Kevin's way of life? And his fancy woman Sharina leaving him was all down to Wendy's prescience and dangerously sharp arranging. When her show was dropped because of her well-being alarm, the snare was sprung in Kevin. And Sharina's great times were over. Wendy's legitimate moves were unadulterated virtuoso, leaving Kevin no choice except for to confront the cruel truth of his life, self-destructing. I will tell individuals that, oh, we still just human. So here we are seeing Kevin Tracker's all-out complete implosion, monetary breakdown, and losing all that made a difference to him. No more divorce settlement from Wendy, not any more extravagant life, a developing heap of neglected bills, and the devastating load of obligation, his frantic cries about not having the option to cover his bills, and the approaching danger of abandonment. Give us a brief look into the disarray of his monetary bad dream. He's spiraling wild, all because of Wendy's smart moves in the end. Plainly, Wendy Williams knew precisely exact thing she was doing. Her determined moves to safeguard her abundance took care of big time, leaving Kevin with no decision except for to recognize the cold hard reality. Wendy's expectations about her show and its impact on Kevin's funds were right on the money, and her legitimate splendor took care of business. Kevin attempted to play Wendy, yet she played him better, and presently he's the one following through on the cost. Discuss a game nicely done. Wendy. Sorry, Kevin's fight with Wendy took a legitimate turn, as his resentment regarding the divorce settlement end outwitted him. Frantic for some sort of triumph, he recruited legal advisors to challenge the separation arrangement, yet Equity had different plans. The adjudicator threw his case right through the window, certifying that Wendy doesn't owe him a dime as long as her show was dropped. Discuss making an already difficult situation even worse. Kevin was passed on to pay for the attorney's expenses, which was one more monetary injury to lick. His urgency developed so extraordinary that he needed to sell his vehicle, the house he bought for Sharina, and surprisingly, a portion of his valued belongings, just to stay aware of the obligations that were flooding in like a tide. Now about Sharina, the scandalous course and her takeoff from Kevin's life was, however quick as it might have been, definitive. The second those income streams evaporated, she gathered her packs, unloaded Kevin, and went running back to Mom's home. The roads were talking, and the Tattleweb journals were humming. An especially succulent, visually impaired thing post from Insane Days and Evenings put in maximum effort, implying that Sharina left Kevin on the grounds that he was unable to help her high-flying way of life any longer. She didn't avoid communicating her sentiments via web-based entertainment either. Sharina's Instagram post: peruse the agony of the cycle is just transitory, yet the pride endures perpetually. Young lady. She continued on quick. Kevin's post-separation adventure didn't stop there. The man was a disaster area, lamenting truly venturing out on Wendy. In any case, his virtual entertainment was overflowed with tears of distress and statements of Wendy being the best thing that consistently happened to him. It's unmistakable that he needs her back, yet could you at any point fault Wendy for perhaps delighting in this sensational ruin? She may very well be someplace tasting her tea and partaking in the show. Kevin played a high-stakes game, fathering a kid with his courtson spending Wendy's well-deserved cash on trivial endeavors, and surprisingly, attempting to drag Wendy to court for more. And look where that got him. All I'm saying, reversal's a fair game. I'm a fair game player and an honest person, also digging a digit more profound into Kevin and Wendy's drama. The genuine kicker is the sheer length of Kevin's undertaking with Sharina, an astounding 16 years. Meanwhile, he was as yet hitched to Wendy. And he didn't stop at cheating. No, he bet everything, utilizing Wendy's fortune to back Sharina as bombing organizations. Discussed dissatisfied, none of those adventures at any point worked out, yet that didn't prevent Kevin from tossing Wendy's cash into the breeze. It's a story of abused trust, broken guarantees, and a courtesan who cherished easy street excessively much. What a story, people. Fruitful I got. And he got. And we put stock in one another, the all the more a jerk he became. Kevin resembled a man on a mission, siphoning Wendy's well-deserved cash into Sharina's unrealistic fantasies. Need advisor, no booth in her old neighborhood, bombed internet clothing business, called this his all-out catastrophe. Hell, the person even attempted to get her confirmed as a real estate professional. Yet Sharina never capitalized on that one. What's wild is Kevin didn't stop there. He opened a stylish vegetarian food organization for herself and went a little overboard, very nearly $1 million on a house for her in a similar neighborhood where he resided with Wendy. Discuss pushing limits, 6 distinct undertakings, generally falling flat, and all subsidized by Wendy's cash. Essentially, you're getting compensated for it. So you realize these individuals are so stupid, they don't for even a moment get compensated for it. You're getting compensated for it now. Assuming you think about Kevin's job as only a maker on the Wendy Williams show, it's basically impossible that he might have gone a little overboard on these sumptuous gifts and organizations. Without Wendy's cash, that is correct, Wendy's cash was energizing this insane train, and she had some awareness of the undertaking from the start of our marriage. I've had some significant awareness of her, nearly starting from the starting. I've realized that Kevin is a sequential cheat. She even had one rugged rule: no children with Sharina. Except for Kevin, gracious Kevin. He felt free to father a kid with his Corson. It was the straw that broke the camel's back for Wendy, and who can fault her enough was sufficient. And the child adventure was the issue, you said in the New York Times magazine. I'm an exceptionally sympathetic individual, yet there's one thing I would never be a piece of. And that one thing occurred, yet we should get genuine. Wendy was no more abnormal to Kevin's duping ways. She even uncovered that Kevin undermined her right after she brought forth their most memorable child, as would be natural for her, yet it has eager to resolve it with him in light of their child. It has made our marriage. And I realize this is a platitude, yet it's actual. It's made our marriage more grounded. No, I'm not back to the young lady I was before. And since when you get stung like that, you never return to who you were. Just a moron does, yet I love him. And he cherishes me, and we tended to it head-on. Certain the undertaking could have changed her, made her more grounded and stronger, yet sooner or later a line must be drawn. Yet this story is something beyond about Kevin's unfortunate dynamic. It's about Wendy's unwavering resistance of his disloyalty, driven by their common love for their child, an obligation to their family. She pardoned and embraced the battles, trusting in their capacity to develop further together, yet even the most persistent heart has its cut-off points. And Kevin's ceaseless treachery and foolishness, with Wendy's funds at last, prompted the disentangling of their marriage from extravagant undertakings to obscure area land bargains. Kevin's activities achieved a chaotic ride of feelings and monetary turmoil, all while Wendy remained steadfast. Until the limit in adventure says a lot about trust absolution. And knowing when to tap out, he was with me asking for absolution, advising me to pause for a minute, and he would see it. And we were intended to be together. Yet in the end, what hangs out in this adventure isn't Kevin's crazy spending, or the endless line of